everybody, and welcome to Final Play Sports Rap. I'm your host, Pete Lubar, and today we're talking Mountain West Football Wrap Up Week 12. And I have to apologize, I did not do a wrap up last week. I am having extreme technical difficulties with my software and was not able to get a wrap out the door. I have found a temporary workaround, and we're going to try that today. So bear with me, but we'll give you the details that you need to know. In the most meaningful game of the week, San Diego State took control of the Mountain West regular season title with a victory over Boise State in San Diego. The score was 17-7. Lucky Sutton, the best running back in the Mountain West, had 150 yards in the ground for the Aztecs, as they had over 277 yards total on the ground. And in the weird stat of the day, it appears the Aztecs didn't even try to pass, as Jay Denegal had 6 completions for 17 yards and no touchdowns. He did, however, rush for 2, and Boise was not able to generate points or much offense behind backup Max Cutworth, who's filling in for injured star Maddox Madsen. So really nice victory for San Diego State. Not so great a loss for Boise State. Boise State has a tough game at Utah State in 2 weeks, which will decide whether they are in the Mountain West Championship game or if someone else steals that slot. UNLV edged Utah State in double overtime, 29-26. The game was close throughout, with UNLV kicking a field goal with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left to tie the score. Both teams missed field goals in the first overtime, and then after a field goal by Utah State, UNLV scored a TD to win. Anthony Colandrea outdueled Bryson Barnes, 276 to 256. Both had 1 TD. The win keeps UNLV in the hunt for the championship game. Utah State remains on the verge of bowl eligibility, needing 1 more win, so they will be motivated in their next 2 games to get a win. New Mexico took care of CSU in a sloppy effort at University Stadium in Albuquerque. They won 2017. The Lobos had 4 fumbles and 6 penalties, while CSU committed 3 interceptions and a fumble. The Lobo defense played their best game of the season, limiting CSU to 13 yards rushing on 25 attempts. I believe that's a .5 average. And Jackson Brochot was hurt and benched, and Darius Curry came in for CSU. He had a pretty good game. He threw for 248 yards and 2 TDs for the Rams. But unfortunately, he's the one who threw the 3 interceptions. The Lobos moved to 4-2, 7-3 overall. In the surprising game of the week, Nevada broke its 16-game Mountain West losing streak with a convincing win over San Jose. Congratulations to the Wolfpack. Nevada routed the Spartans 55-10. The Wolfpack got 2 touchdowns from Carter Jones and a touchdown from Caleb Ramser, Chubba Purdy, and Dominic Kelly. And if I am correct, those 3 have all run for 1,000 yards now. Nevada ran for 218 yards. San Jose lost 4 fumbles and an interception in their less than inspired performance. Fresno State continued their quest for a Mountain West crown as they beat Wyoming 24-3. Game was close at halftime, 10-3, but Fresno scored 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to pull away. This was a punting exhibition. There were 14 punts between the 2 teams, 8 by Wyoming, as they generated little to no offense. Fresno State is now 7-3 overall and 4-2 in the Mountain West. And finally, Air Force traveled to Yukon on Saturday and lost to the Huskies 26-16. Unfortunately, the Falcons lost Liam Sidarka, their quarterback and best player in the game, to a broken hand. Will miss at least the next game against New Mexico and possibly the rest of the season. Now look at the conference standings. We see that San Diego State is 5-1, 8-2 overall, and we have a 5-team tie for second place with Fresno State, Boise State, New Mexico, UNLV, and Hawaii all at 4-2. We do have an elimination game coming up this week as Hawaii travels to UNLV, so one of those teams will drop to 3 losses and be out of it. Utah State is out of it. However, Utah State can play a spoiler role, and we'll cover that right now. So if you kind of look at here the games remaining, San Diego State hosts San Jose State. They should win that game, and then they travel to New Mexico. New Mexico is very good at home this year and has played all the teams tough, so that's going to be a very close game. Boise State's got CSU at home and then travels to Utah State. I don't think that will be an easy game considering how challenged they are right now to score. However, Maddox may be back by that Utah State game. He has an ankle. Hawaii is at UNLV, so once again an elimination game for one of those, and then Wyoming at home, a game they should win. New Mexico travels to Air Force this week and then takes on San Diego State, and UNLV, as I mentioned, has Hawaii and then at Nevada, and Fresno State has got Utah State at home this week, which will not be an easy game, and at San Jose State. Utah State, as a spoiler, gets Fresno State and Boise. So a lot of different scenarios, but basically if UNM beats San Diego and they are 6-2, San Diego State would be 6-2, Boise 6-2, UNLV 6-2, and Fresno State would be 6-2. And then you have to go to rankings of CFB rankings. And right now, Boise is still the highest ranked team in the SP polls, followed by SDSU, UNLV. And then New Mexico, Fresno, and Hawaii are all kind of right around each other. If you assume Hawaii and UNLV, one of those is going to lose a game, and that maybe Fresno loses a game, then you get down to just a couple of spots, and then it would be very interesting. In terms of this week's games, Hawaii travels to UNLV. They are a 2.5-point favorite. Here's how I feel about that game. Hawaii is a really good passing team. Alejado is a really good quarterback, and UNLV has trouble defending really good quarterbacks. So it would not surprise me in the least if Hawaii wins that game. But Calandrea is a really good quarterback as well. And if they can get some decent defense, then they win. It's going to be a close game. I'm going to pick UNLV to win. I just think at home they got a better chance, but it's going to be a tight game. New Mexico 7-3 heads up to Air Force. Air Force plays teams tough. They lost their quarterback Liam Sidarka. He's their best player. I don't know if he's going to be available. I know he broke a hand. And so, New Mexico is probably a 10-point favorite. They list him as 3.5, but I can see New Mexico, who didn't play particularly well last week, coming out and playing really well and winning that game. They want to play for the conference championship. They know they have to win this game, and the coach has them focus on that. Nevada, 2-8, 1-5, travels to Wyoming. Wyoming 6.5-point favorite. I think Wyoming wins that game. It might be closer than we think. Nevada can play some defense, and Wyoming's not that great, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was an upset there or the game was closer. CSU's traveling to Boise State, and this one's perplexing to me because right now Boise State is a 16.5-point favorite, and based on how they performed the last 2 weeks without Madsen in the lineup, they're not able to score points. So CSU's defense looked pretty good last week against New Mexico. They scored some points. And I'm looking at maybe Boise State getting to 20 points and maybe CSU to 10 or 13. So 16.5 points sure feels like a big amount to give away. I think I would take CSU and take the points if I was a betting man, which sometimes I am. And then we've got Utah State traveling to Fresno State. Fresno State is 7-3. Utah State is 5-5. They need to get bowl eligible. They play really tough. It would not surprise me if they beat Fresno State. It wouldn't surprise me either way, I guess. But I keep thinking that Utah State's playing really good football right now. And then finally, you got San Jose State traveling to San Diego State. San Diego State's a big favorite, 12.5. I don't think San Diego State will have any trouble with the Spartans. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube page. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks, everyone. Bye.